Mustache Mountain versus Gallus tonight in the main event is another one of those situations where all I can really say is if you didn't watch it, go and watch it. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with your NXT UK review for January 2nd, 2019, Part 1. Gonna probably try to knock out the second episode that went down yesterday tomorrow because, like I said, in my NXT review, my time's kind of all over the place right now. The UK reviews are, not to be repetitive, but they're sort of going to get out whenever I get a chance to get them out. Obviously, regular NXT I'm going to try and keep to the night that they air because that's, you know, that's a thing. NXT UK, at least until they stop the double episodes, which I think is going to be after TakeOver, are going to be whenever I can get them out. But going to sort of forego the typical, you know, the house cleaning, etc. Obviously, you guys know up in the annotation up above is anything you may or may not be interested in. But I am going to implore you guys to help me out a little bit. I don't usually do this. I don't really like that I have to do this. I told you guys a little bit in my NXT review about the social media problems I've been having recently. I'm banned from Twitter until further notice, which is a lot of fun. My ability to post on Facebook is quite limited as well. Those of you that know me on Facebook directly know that I've been able to post directly, but as far as being able to share content and whatever, I've gotten notices from Facebook similar to what I got from Twitter. So there's a little bit of fuckery going on, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. I don't know what I can do about it, but as I say, I don't usually like to ask you guys for this, but if you guys could do me a favor, repost this video or tweet this video or share this video any way you see fit. This video, the one I did last night, the one I'm probably going to do tomorrow, until I get the social media stuff figured out, it would be a big help. If you don't want to, if, you know, I don't like doing it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I get it. I can't even do the direct thing. You know, when you go into your YouTube settings and you just have it so that whenever you do a video, it automatically uploads to Twitter, Facebook, etc. I can't even do it. I can't even post to those sites through YouTube right now, which is a bit annoying. So, you know, awesome way to kick off the year. Thanks to you know who. But that's not going to get us down because this was a good show. As I say, the main event stole the show, but started off, again, the passing of Mean Gene. As I said before, I predicted in my NXT review last night that Good Mic Work or OKayfabe would have a great sort of send-off for Mean Gene. I encourage you, once again, go to Good Mic Work if you're not already subscribed to Good Mic Work, and he did a what he calls a mic drop, which is a sort of like a mini condensed video on the passing of Gene Okerlund. And as I've said before, he's able to give you much more of a historical perspective on Mean Gene Okerlund than I am. You guys know that is not exactly my strong suit. I'm sort of, you know, the here, the now, the what's in front of us, and the here, the now, and what's in front of us is Mean Gene has passed away, and that's really, really terrible. Go check out Good Mic Works video. I was watching it today. It's really, really good. Tell him Spaz says what's up. I'm sure he'll care. Started off the show tonight with Travis Banks versus Jamie Ahmed. Now, Jamie Ahmed was decent here, definitely an enhancement talent. They made a point of telling us as he was coming to the ring that his time on the Indies has earned him the nickname Screwface, which was also printed on the back of his gear, which is sort of, it is what it is. Travis Banks. Last year I was trying to sort of describe how I feel about Travis Banks, because he's impressive. He's not a guy that's reaching for the main event right away. He doesn't have superstar plastered across his face. I think he's the NXT UK equivalent of a Sami Zayn. He's very, very good. He's very easy to like. He's got an energy that's really, really easy to like, and obviously his offense in the ring is great. Waistlock takedown by Banks and a trip and a rolling choke. Series of forearms by Ahmed and a sit-down senton. Both men trade some punches. There's a trip face first into the turnbuckle. Almost a snake eyes. Almost like a takedown into a snake eyes against the Second turnbuckle followed by a drop kick to the back, which is nice. German suplex by Banks, mounted punches by Ahmed. Corner drop kick, a double stomp, and a springboard clothesline that I think they called like the Best Wish or, you know, Happy Trails or some name that I didn't quite catch because Nigel McGuinness sometimes talks faster than I can hear. Banks gets the win. That's the takeaway here. As I say, Screwface or Jamie Ahmed was there to do the do, and this was basically to get Travis Banks out here to be interrupted in his moment of victory by Jordan Devlin. Now, Jordan Devlin is a weird one. Not too long ago, he wanted the title. He was focused on the title. Rod. Now he's just basically chosen a new target, and he's gone sort of away from the typical wrestler angle. I'm going to come in, I'm going to talk down to you as a wrestler. I think I'm a better wrestler. I deserve to be champion. He's gone the personal route with Jordan Devlin, almost immediately mocking, with Travis Banks, because Travis Banks, obviously being the Kiwi buzzsaw, is from New Zealand, mocks Banks for leaving his home and never looking back, and da-da-da-da-da. Mentions that they fought before on the indies, but here we are now, and I'm here to pick up a big, gigantic paycheck. Says, you've been away from home so long, does your mother even know your voice? And then he just says, never bet against if you're going to fight me, never bet against an ace, because he's the Irish ace. So I guess somewhere down the line, maybe a takeover, so they get a bit more time. We're probably going to get Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin, which doesn't hurt my feelings at all. We see a video package for tonight's main event between Gallus and Mustache Mountain. All the stuff between Gallus and all three members of British Strong Style in this video package. Said it a million times, WWE, great with the video packages, etc. They mentioned that tonight, the winner tonight is going to go on to the TakeOver Blackpool pay-per-view. Now, this is, again, one of those situations, and we run into this a lot in tournaments, where you get a quarter or a semi-final match that I would have wanted to be the final. I wanted this match to establish the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Championships to be between any two of the three of Gallus and Mustache Mountain. Will say, being not so familiar with these guys until obviously this brand started, if you look at these three guys, you got Wolfgang and then you got the two brothers. You figure you've got a faction of three guys. The tag team is going to be the two brothers. It's really cool to see that the single guy and the brothers, it's one of the brothers that's trying to get a singles title and the other brother that's going to team with Wolfgang. It circumvents what you expect, and that's good, and that's different, and I don't know, maybe they've tag teamed before. I don't know. I'm not over in the UK paying attention to their indie scene. That's just a fact. But Mark Coffey and Wolfgang are going to take on Tyler Bate, Trent Seven in our main event tonight. Winner goes on to take over Blackpool to face whoever Johnny Saint decides is their opponent? Question mark? We see a video package of the history between Dave Mastiff and Eddie Dennis to let us know that they're going to fight next week, aka the episode that I'm probably going to build tomorrow. Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams taking on Marcel Barthel. Excuse me. One moment. Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams taking on Marcel Barthel and Fabian Eichner. Two guys that were introduced to me by NXT UK versus two guys that, as good as they were, didn't do very much on NXT proper. Makes for a very interesting combination. Fabian Eichner, since he's come over to the UK, is aggressive as fuck, isn't he? It's really, really good. Williams and Jordan have this weird little dynamic where they both are their own kind of fun character. Kenny Williams, the Luckian. You know, if you can't, what's the expression? If you can't be good, at least be lucky. And then you got Amir Jordan, who's doing the dancing, and their gimmick is he's trying to get his partner to dance, and it's not happening. And obviously they have to remedy that on commentary, where what's his face is trying to get Nigel McGuinness to dance on commentary. They don't do a very good job of hiding the fact that their commentary is recorded after the fact. I don't mind it, but it's kind of funny when they try to act like they're swept up in the moment, because they're not, and I don't want that to come across as a criticism, because they're very good. I like Nigel McGuinness. I like Nigel McGuinness a little more with Mauro Ranallo, maybe a little less Percy Watson, but that's another story for another day. And yes, I know what people are going to say to that, and you can fuck off and all. But I do like the commentary. When they try to act like they're right there and they're not, it's a bit off-putting. Anyways, Williams and Barthel start. There's a long chain wrestling sequence, a headlock by Williams and knuckle lock, and he works the arm, axe handle by Jordan, elbow shots by Barthel, double chop by Barthel, mudhole stomp and shots by Fabian, body shots by Jordan, back elbow and a cheap shot by Barthel, mounted punches by Fabian, mudhole by Barthel, spinebuster by Fabian into a boot by Barthel, which is really, really nice. Fabian and Barthel, and they do this a lot on commentary, point out that these guys have never fought before, point out that Amir and Kenny are trying to meld as a team. This is, you know, we're sort of bolstering the undercard of what's going to be the tag team division on this brand. These guys are not going to the pay-per-view to decide the first ever champions, but these guys are the ones climbing the rung. They have to build up the undercard of this division and the main part of this division before the division officially exists. And that's not an easy thing to do. So I'm going to give hats off to NXT UK for that. Jawbreaker by Jordan, butterfly suplex by Barthel, side headlock by Barthel. And we turn the page and all kinds of sound effects happening in the background as I drop paper on the floor. Springboard back elbow by Williams. I don't know. It's late in the day. Suicide dive by Williams, low dropkick and an inverted exploder by Barthel, spinebuster against the apron by Fabian, which is not the dirtiest move we're going to see tonight. Powerbomb back suplex combination get the win for Fabian Eichner and Marcel Barthel. They could be a cool team. Just two guys. Really, Fabian Eichner was one of those guys on NXT that we usually save these comments for the main roster, but oh my god, this guy's really good. Why aren't they doing anything with him? And Marcel Barthel, all I really remember about him was seeing him at an NXT house show when he took on Ty Dillinger, and he yelled 9, and the crowd yelled 10, because that's what we do. We go to the back, where... who's the guy? What's the name of the guy that they have in the back doing the backstage interview? I think it's Rassi or Radzi or something like that. They never say it clearly, and I don't think he's allowed to have a last name. So he's, you know, talking about everything we can expect tonight. But he overhears Deonna Purrazzo and Toni Storm and just decides to like elbow into their conversation, and it's kind of neat because Deonna Purrazzo is being very respectful to Toni Storm. But she thinks she deserves to have the shot that Toni Storm has at TakeOver, which is fair enough. And there's this very respectful sort of banter between the two of them, and she says, you know, why don't we, you know, if you think you deserve the spot, why don't we go settle it in the ring? And they have a handshake, and it's almost unsettlingly calm. Sorry, I sound a little bit like ass, but it is what it is. So we're going to see Deonna Purrazzo versus Toni Storm at some point, which doesn't hurt my feelings at all. All the hot chicks are ending up in NXT UK, which just makes me sad. Why are we beeping? Why is this a thing? Joe Coffey confronts Sid Scala and Johnny Saint in the back, demanding a title shot, basically saying, this is what's going to happen. You've got a pay-per-view coming up, and you're going to give me a match against Pete Dunne. And they say they're going to take it under advisement. Sid Scala basically does what he does, which is stand between the two of them and look like he's going to shit his pants. He's pretty good at that. Maybe he's taking lessons from Jake Maverick, but I digress. Ginny takes on Candy Floss. Now, my opinion on Ginny kind of goes up and down because the fashionista thing works sometimes and it doesn't work other times because she's great in the ring. I don't know how the gimmick jives with what she does in the ring. It's not a Bianca Belair situation where I hate her gimmick and therefore I want to just enjoy what she does in the ring. I don't hate the gimmick. It doesn't mesh, in my personal opinion. Take nothing away from her as a talent, obviously. Candy Floss is there to be happy, but there's some sarcasm with it this time around. Last time she was sort of happy-go-lucky, you know, Bailey turned up to 11 type deal. This time there was a little bit of sarcasm with it, which was great. Collar elbow tie up and Ginny works the arm. Candy Floss gets out of it and gives her a hug, which throws her right off and sets her up for Candy Floss to hit her with a key lock takeover, and but that quickly gets reversed into a headlock by Ginny. Side headlock by Floss, reversed by Ginny, a trip by Floss. Now here's a cool thing. Candy Floss does this thing where she falls straight forward and that her whole body acts as the trip. Now, Ginny tries to do the exact same thing. Candy Floss stops herself, lies down on the mat next to her, and sort of like waves at her with this cocky smile. I like that. I thought that was really, really fucking good. Top rope leg whip by Ginny and a double wrist lock arm drag facebuster by Ginny and some mounted punches. Boot by Floss, a drop kick and a hesitation drop kick. Hesitation drop kick by Candy Floss was fucking fantastic. I gotta put it out there. But the ripcord Pele kick by Ginny gets the win. I really hope, after seeing, because as I say, Ginny's already great. We've already seen what she can do in the triple threat at Royal Albert Hall. She was in the Mae Young Classic, I believe. We've seen what she can do on the roster so far. I really hope that Candy Floss isn't just there to be an enhancement talent. After what I see tonight, first you see her, like I said, you know, happy-go-lucky, you know, almost ignorant character. But the way they worked it tonight, where it's not, you know, she's not as flaky as she looks, and, you know, there's a little bit of friendliness, but there's a little bit of, like, don't take my friendliness for weakness, and I am gonna wave at you and mock at you a little bit, and I like that. I like that a lot. Kind of want to see her get a title shot. I don't want to see her win, obviously. I would love, just for the contrast of it, I would love to see Candy Floss versus Ela Dawn. I think that would be a lot of fun. But you know what is really, really fun is the main event tonight, Gallus versus Mustache Mountain. And as I said, this could have been on the pay-per-view. Great match, and I won't take anything away from it being on the weekly show, because that's great. You need stuff to make you watch the weekly show. But seriously, this could have been the match. This could have been the deciding tag team title match. Anyway, Gallus and Mustache Mountain. Wolfgang and Mark Coffey versus Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. Coffey and Bate start. They're trading some punches. A huge slam by Seven and a senton by Bate. Body shots by Bate. I can read my writing, I swear. Really, really losing my voice. I'm sorry if you guys can't understand me. Put it down in the comment section below. Double team by Gallus. Stomps by Wolfgang. Kicks by Bate. Modified head and arm lock by Wolfgang. Again, Nigel on commentary told us what it was. I didn't write it down. I'm an idiot. Moving on. Hurricane Rana by Bate. DDT and chops by Seven. Side slam by Seven. Cheap shot by Wolfgang and a back suplex by Coffey. Running senton by Wolfgang, which is a terrifying prospect, is it not? Mounted punches, corner shots by Coffey, knee drops by Wolfgang, reverse bear hug by Wolfgang, and forearms by Coffey. The sequence we have here with Trent Seven getting the ever-loving shit kicked out of him as these two gigantic dudes just keep tagging in. Keep taking their shot, keep tagging in, keep taking their shot. I mean, look what I just said. Cheap shot by Wolfgang, back suplex by Coffey, running senton by Wolfgang, mounted punches by Coffey, corner shots by Coffey, knee drop by Wolfgang, reverse bear hug by Wolfgang, forearms by Coffey, kick to the face by Wolfgang, and a hard Irish whip, back to that big, gigantic bear hug. And these are big dudes. Tyler Bate is sort of deceptively big, but the other three guys in this match, Trent Seven, Wolfgang, Mark Coffey, are huge dudes. So this bear hug sequence that goes on forever is a great little spot. We've always said for the longest time, hey, WWE's always obsessed with the big guys, the John Cenas, the Rocks, the Randy Ortons, and whatever. Hey, why don't we give Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio and CM Punk and Ty Dillinger and all these guys a shot? Now, that's in vogue. I mean, look at who our champions are other than Brock Lesnar. Now it's time for the big guys to step up and be like, almost do the opposite, and they're doing it in this match. Suplex on the floor by Seven and a suicide dive by Bate. Crazy series of strikes by Bate and another suicide dive. Exploder suplex by Bate, the smallest guy in the match, on Wolfgang. Running star press by Bate and a drop kick and an airplane spin. Now, Bate gets locked in a backpack sleeper by Coffey, which is bad enough because Coffey's huge and he's on Bate's back. With Coffey on his back, he takes Wolfgang and picks him up too and suplexes both of these dudes. I'm not making this shit up. Crossbody off the apron by Seven and enziguri by Coffey. Coffey waves to the entranceway and his brother comes down the ramp. He's about to interfere. Everybody's freaking out in the audience. He's cut off by Pete Dunne. They brawl in the rampway. He never gets to interfere in the match. Pete Dunne hits the X-Plex on the apron, which is fucking gorgeous. Left hand by Bate and the lariat suplex combination by Bate and Seven get the win for Mustache Mountain, and they are going to take over Blackpool. Like, you didn't know that was going to happen, but this was still fucking fantastic. All six men brawl after the match, you know, fist to fire, 3-on-3, it's all good. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a six-man match at some point, but British Strong Style get to stand tall this time around. Dunn grabs the microphone, accepts the challenge from Joe Coffey, says, I've just been talking to Johnny Saint, you've got your match with me at TakeOver Blackpool, that's all set. I mean, we kind of saw the writing on the wall already, but the actual announcement, the fact that it wasn't just another match announced by Johnny Saint and Sid Scala, that Pete Dunne's like, yeah, by the way, you've got a match in a week or so, and then the guys come back together again and just brawl to end the show. This was fucking fantastic. Even if there was nothing else on this show, this match and the aftermath of this match would have been enough for me to tell you to watch this show. Anyways, that was that. Hope you guys enjoyed. As I say, questions, comments down in the box below as usual. If you guys can find it within you to give me a little bit of help as I'm dealing with the social media stuff, share the video around, tweet it, you know, pass it on to a friend that you think might like, whatever. It would do me a world of good, and it would set my 2019 off on a really, really good start. But until then, I've been Spaz, your YWC reality check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.